Hey all, can you hear me? Can you see me? And how does it sound? And yes, the update is live as we speak. I am super duper duper duperty excited. It's gonna be a good day. Ooh, here we go.
Deno, recently I have been plagued by strange visions of the infestation. Their warnings
Oh,
from Koumei
Nico,
herself.
I'm sorry, man.
I'm
That
sure of
sucks.
it.
You okay?
Krona Meta. Come see me in Cetus. Together, we can overcome
Beautiful.
a terrible fate.
No
Beware.
crackings, no weirdness. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Jansen. Can't wait to put together the video for this one. I actually have already been working on it. It's kind of going to be not just about Koumei, but like a compendium of everything that's happened in Cetus, and then I'll tack that on. So it should be pretty good time. I'm very excited about this particular update. Well, as long as you're okay, that's. I mean, again, things can be replaced. People can't. So, let's head there. All right, where can we get in? No, can't get in 69. So, guess we're just gonna have to go to one of the normal ones. So, just real quick before this starts, just give me an all clear. Is everything looking good and sounding good as far as the stream? Yeah, I know the whole thing about being replaced by an ex-girlfriend. Luckily, I'm finally in a relationship that's worth it. That's worth being in. But it only took 40, 44, 45 years to get there. Hello, Punk Ghost Samurai. How are you? Everything is wonderful today. We got some new contents. Now it really wants me to look at my inbox, so maybe Ordis's message here. Oh, 5 times? You know what? I do need more of those. Thank you. Yeah. Another Caliban. Alrighty. So I noticed a whole group of Tenno sitting right over there. I'm sure we're gonna have to go there at some point. That's true. My current love interest, she is going to be playing some Warframe at some point with me. Now that I finally got the stream up, because I think that's like something that you have to do. You know, you have to put your significant other who has no clue about the game on live, on blast. You know, that's just what you do.
I pay you in silver.
I think, is this where it starts?
Such dark dreams. Infested demons rise from the ocean and plunge.
I didn't get a chance to actually really look into the pet work rework yet. That's going to be something I do after the fact. I would love to be able to use my pets a little bit more. I've been typically, you know, I use like kind of the same thing, like Helios and Shade, because they just seem to be the easiest ones. But I know that the pets nowadays have a lot more functionality, if you will. So this will be something that'll probably get me finally into messing around with that a little bit.
You see and are seen.
Arrived at great risk from the Eurasian zone. Display your love with a streak of vermilion.
Oh, look, that's pretty cool. That used to be filled with the Kuva during the new war. It's all been let out. It's probably a good idea. Need more mind-bending stuff going on in this particular area of the planet. I think it's dealt with enough at this point. Early lunch for Thedsiege. All right. What do we got?
See what has been and what will be, and they do not share their knowledge. But the likes of you and I, we may wish to steal a glimpse of our fate, to change it, even. This is the Shrine of Koumei, the Dice Maiden, the Puppeteer. A long-hidden oracle for the ordinary folk.
Okay.
The nesting condrux. Like the Mermo and Permo with their young. A protector must embrace both. Ferocity.
Is there going to be like a little bit of lore for every single different kind of role? That's awesome.
The virtues. A reminder. Strong individuals are easily recognized, for they can be seen empowering others. Flencer's Toil. A frightening title, perhaps. But it is a reassurance. Know that your current struggle is a gift to your future self. 2 pairs. The cookpot. It is good to master your fate, but practice patience. Mind the heat. Boil too long, and you will evaporate.
Okay, so I don't know if is that part of the quest, or let's see. Oh, here we go. Enter the Fate Dream. Why, yes. Let's enter the Fate Dream. This is going to be cool. Oh, I'm with other people. I should have put the thing in as a solo thing. Hopefully nothing weird happens.
This storm!
Ah, see?
Did Koumei do this? Did we do something to
Alright, hold
upset
on.
her?
Hold on, guys. Let me just do one thing.
No.
I want to be able to listen to what's going on there, so let me just... let me do this.
Koumei's blessing upon you.
Alright, yes. Let's see it. Hey, good afternoon! How are you today? It's going to be a good day today. It looks like the rolls, at least at the moment, are just... what happened?
The shrine is
Let me get it.
always open to
Yes. Acquiring targets. What does that mean? If you want to hop in right now, you can. If you're online, I don't. I guess maybe you can't do this by yourself. Anybody know what the story is with that? Is it like that you have to deal with other people, or kind of a weird one? Let's try it. How about this? Let's see if solo will change anything.
May your fate be a worthy one.
Yes. Ah, okay. There we go. That'll do.
This storm! Did Koumei do this? Did we do something to upset her?
No. This nightmare is a gift. A chance to live out our dark fate. So
What are you
we
thinking
might
of the new
change it.
all-white gear, too, by the
Hurry
way?
home. The Tenno will continue our celebration. Tenno, present our offerings to Koumei to draw out the infested.
I don't really know much. Again, I'm going to be looking into all the stuff that we get with
so
this.
dark fate may be averted.
Now this
Oh,
is the
yeah.
sweetest
Say heck,
of
give me
my
some.
dreams.
Oh, so this is... Okay, okay. That's right. He's been talking about this for a while. Let's just see what we do.
Koumei's fortune now flows within you.
Okay. Do I stay in here for the whole thing? Is that what this is? So the reason why I play with a controller is because I have carpal tunnel syndrome, and playing literally with anything else makes it almost impossible for me. I've actually had to even modify my okay, so things have to be in there with you, maybe? I've made my own modifications on my controller. That I tell this to everybody, but I actually aim and shoot with my pinkies. They are the least affected by carpal tunnel syndrome. So I have a Xbox Elite controller that I use, and I've kind of modified the back paddles so that I can just use my pinkies.
We must invite Koumei to awaken our mind sight, so she may change our fate. Deliver the offerings.
No, but I'm going to have to get me the Ortis flute. That one there is actually something that I can see myself. Okay. Got that one, and I wonder if I can get this one too. Maybe that's the reason why. Ooh, you know what? I should have probably used Saren for this one. Oh, who's laughing? I mean, those things are cool, you have to admit. That's one of the few pieces of Warframe merchandise that, like, I gotta have it. Alright, so far I'm liking this. You have to give it up to DE to be able to consistently add new, like, little mini game types, different things to do each time. Even if it's a tiny bit different, it's still better than the, in my opinion, the alternative of just having to do like the same thing over and over again. I think that's one of my biggest problems with, and I think is like one of those kind of an underlying reason as to why Destiny is having such issues at the moment. Because you don't really do anything else in that game other than shoot your gun. I think I've said this multiple times, but even if you don't like some of the things that Warframe implements in order to vary the gameplay, just the fact that it's there allows you to, again, it keeps the things that you do like in the game fresh. So this update is about this new Warframe, Koumei, and it looks as though we are seeing a variation, a timeline, dimension, if you will, where the infested kind of took over this area. I'm guessing, and again, I don't really know a ton about it at this point. I'm going to have to look into it after we finish the quest, but at least from what I gather, this is a kind of a quill-specific situation. The quills being the first multi-dimensional, like, I guess, mentions that we had in the game. I mean, I think there were different things that, you know, time travel on Lua and things like that were always kind of weird, but I really do think that the quills were the first time that we were introduced to a kind of a situation where there is somebody here in... There's an Oni? Really? That they were like kind of tuned into more than just one reality.
More infested sleep within your very walls. Soon, they too will awaken. Smug little peasants. I will peck over the ruins.
I refuse to let the will of these infested demons surpass our own. We prepare more offerings.
The music is just absolutely fantastic, I have to tell you.
Infested are upon us. This fate dream binds so tightly, we cannot help until you drive them back.
Oh, okay, so you just got to keep doing this with the... Not too shabby, I would say. Just get rid of some of that riffraff there. Grab this. I can't wait to put it out. I'm gonna tell you. Did I just like accidentally kill that thing?
The fate
Yep,
dream
I did.
is dispelled. The
The dual toxicist is extremely overpowered, especially in level 5 content.
Mission complete. Excellent work, Tenno.
Fate Pearl. Interesting. Very interesting. That's true. The Void Arc is going to be one of the significance. And I don't even know if it's going to be something that's going to go away. I would think that the battle is going to linger for, who knows? I mean, they could stretch this out for a decade if they wanted to, with different people being influenced and, you know, the makings of quite the saga are already in play with what they've already offered us. So,
The shrine is always open to you.
okay.
You are welcome here, Sura.
Maybe you have to offer fate pearls? No. Huh. Alright, let's see. Maybe we're rolling a dice again now. Oh, yeah, it's the same thing as the last time.
2 pairs.
We know about the
The
cookpot.
It is good to master your fate, but practice patience. Mind the heat. Boil too long, and you will evaporate.
Okay.
Go
Do we
with
have to, like,
blessing upon
is the next thing to do it on Steel Path variation, or do you just keep doing it? Well, okay, so I think wherein the difference between Destiny and Warframe's god fighting things are that, I mean, if you want to be completely honest, we haven't actually seen Destiny's god yet. Apparently, at the end of the final shape, you learned that the witness is only the knife. There is somebody that holds the knife. That's they're going to be getting into later. But I do think that that's a little bit different than what we have here, in that I don't really know what else to do next. You just keep doing this over and over again. Sorry, got off on a tangent there. In Warframe, I guess we'll do it again. In Warframe, we could be very well going up against a perverted version of...
This storm! Did Koumei do this? Did we do something to upset
like,
her?
the best way I can describe it is like the collective unconscious.
This nightmare is a
One
gift,
that
a chance to live out
apparently
that
has
fate.
all the
So
makings
we might
of
change it.
the power of like a universal cosmic being, but tainted with the human weaknesses of insecurity, doubt, all kinds of different things. And the concept of that alone is incredibly horrifying, because it's one thing to have an indifferent god, you know, like that's a problem, because, you know, an indifferent god comes into your area and doesn't even realize that you exist, and perhaps doesn't care, wipes you off the face of the earth because of its own ignorance. You know, that in itself is extremely scary. But what Warframe is offering, if it's on that same level, is a god with all the same powers and cosmic ability, but one that has seen our existence and not only wants to be a part of it now, but seems to have no problem injecting its own level of mischief wherever it feels the need. So, as being noted in the chat here, I do think that you have a very different scenario, in that not only is that present, but we have to also consider that every single time that the void copies now, is that like a new variant of a void entity, in that it has its own issues, if you will, based upon the entity that it copied in the beginning. And so you may have a situation where you have literally tons and tons, because, you know, as we've seen in the Duviri tablets, or the lost fragments there, they seem to be, you know, increasing in number, you know, exponentially. There's no reason to think that that same thing won't necessarily happen here eventually. And I think you could even make the argument that what happened... I probably should have stayed over there. So I just don't know. What happened in Duviri was kind of like a testing ground for what was going to occur in the greater situation, in that as soon as the island where the black-eyed children had pretty much been finally understood as to be a problem by the residents of Duviri. They pretty much vanished on their own accord before Thrax could ever get a chance to actually do anything.
We must invite Koumei to awaken
And
our
Thrax
beings
didn't seem to have
so
any
she may
issue
avenge our
just
fate.
letting them go.
Deliver the offerings.
Meaning that there is definitely a fear. You know, almost to the point where he's willing to just hope that it just all goes away, which that never happens in reality. Problems are always there.
Koumei's offerings pile high.
Again, that's I postulated a long time ago that I'm not completely sold on the fact that the ballast that we received in the new war is the same ballast from, let's say, the Orcan time, the one who, you know, originally made the Warframes and such.
I have seen worse after eating too much.
But I suppose we're going to find out on that one.
Fate still holds a noose around our necks. You must not falter now. Turn your eyes to the water.
I must say, this is a fantastic mission to stream because it's very low stress, easy to figure out.
I know. Take the offerings before they are soaked.
I like it.
Such invested beauty. And he looks hungry.
Yeah, I think we can all agree that Era's an odd creature in that situation.
Bring more offerings to the shrine. That force grows too powerful. You must suppress it, Sura. We cannot prepare offerings like this.
We won't leave. Just to try going with it. Can't wait to put this music in my next video. Well, it's not so much the gameplay. It's more so the ambiance of what's going on. Got the good music. I like what I'm looking at here. It's really interesting because I've been playing a lot of other games recently too, just trying to kind of figure out what exactly does one have to do to get the secret sauce. You know, it's an interesting situation that you have with something like Destiny, where it was such a juggernaut game for so long, and like now, I mean, you can almost make the case that a lot of people they're done. They're done with it, including myself. I actually uninstalled it completely.
Let the waters
And
be peaceful.
wait, who was that?
Complete. Excellent work, Tenno.
And I just think that that's what allows Warframe to keep going strong, is that they just keep trying new things. Everything isn't going to stick all the time. Some stuff's going to be bad, some stuff's going to be good. But if you're at least going to go and keep changing things up and trying new stuff, at least you're giving an effort. I uninstalled Destiny 2. And I'm already feeling better, you know?
You are welcome.
All right, I
here,
really
Sura.
am not sure.
Koumei's blessing upon you.
The shores of the sacred fate tree. I wonder. Let me see.
The shrine is always open to you.
Let's take a look around the mission this time. It doesn't seem like there's a time limit or anything that's like really pressing going on. So I'm kind of curious because this clearly isn't sIEGES. sIEGES, however you say it.
It angers the demons in the water.
Hurry inside, child. Doga. The Tenno will cut through the infested and deliver our offerings to Koumei. Always.
Is the Unum infested too in this one?
Canum, here they come.
Let's just look around and see what we got. They may have added some interesting little things in. Maybe, I wonder how deep into the area you can go here. Or if it's all just blocked off. It's not looking good. Oh, it's all blocked off.
Sura, offerings await you outside our doors.
I guess the Unum is protecting this particular reality from the infestation coming deeper in.
Hurry to Koumei.
I mean, it could be rampant conceptual embodiment too, but it is a weird thing that it's these conceptually embodied things have such power and can offer such power. This was actually a really good frame for this. Wait, are we saying that there could be connection between the Unum and the the vessels? Because I could totally see Entradi like what's in there? Is it a bunch of fish?
We must invite Koumei to awaken our mind sight, so she may change our fate. Deliver the offerings. You have done well, Sura.
It's true. Devil does like to do that sort of thing. Doesn't it?
You must drive back the infested from our homes, so we can prepare offerings once more.
Yeah, we're gonna have to really look into this mission because are we to assume that Saya can see what's happening here? In here? And further, like, wouldn't you think that Quilonka would be somewhere around this area? Right? Or am I off on that? Like, this is right up the Quill's alley. I'm hoping that definitely the making aware thing. That's the scarier version. Again, kind of going back to my thing, you don't want to unless an indifferent god is innately let's just say, selfless, chances are allowing a god to know that you exist is probably worse. Oh, there's someone in here, I guess. Hello, Hawkblade. Sorry, I know my gameplay is a little erratic here. I'm trying to look between chat and the gameplay. I remember I got to get used to streaming again. In a long time. But just real quick, is everybody, at least the quality still holding up? No kind of like glitchiness with the vocals or anything else like that? Because that was the problem that I was really having before. Well, I mean, there's that, you know. But as I mentioned, like an idiot god, kind of, I guess that would be probably more closer to what people associate as the demiurge. Again, super scary concept. Exactly the thing that got Lovecraft thinking in the first place. But I would take a dumb god over a god that might want to have fun.
Your Koumei is made of nothing but rot and delusion. The Oni will obliterate her, pave Cetus with her gravel.
Shut. Even in dreams, we must endure your ramblings.
Yeah, because, okay, so think about that. Like, she's saying that this is kind of like a dream setting, but yet Vahek finds himself... Okay, I gotta really get into this one.
You will, but... Koumei is fickle. You must fight on.
That might be... Yeah, I'm actually in solo mode, I think, right now. That's how this thing is working without having multiple people in the group. Try to take him down. Exactly. That's and doesn't it seem kind of like the man in the wall, if you will, loves having fun? Again, to me, I think that the way that DE has the current indifferent, you know, whatever you want to call it, void entity, god, however, is one of the, and maybe even by accident, you never know. I mean, they may have never originally thought to do this, but it's one of the scariest enemies in any game ever. Mainly because he's always there with you. Not only is he always there with you, but he's the one that gave you any of your abilities in the first place.
Mission complete. Excellent work, Tenno.
It's like that kind of... That could be. But regardless, the void entity is definitely he's having his fun, one way or another. Enjoying being in this world, enjoying, who knows. Let's go visit Quilonco. I just want to see if he has any information. Yeah. He's like the creepy Santa Claus. He does give you gifts, but you're not really sure if like that's gonna cost you something big later. Well, this isn't a good sign because there's nobody here.
We are each one viewpoint within the myriad that comprises the Unum. Tenno separating from simple nexus at Quill Onco.
I would play Koumei with Wally. Absolutely, I would. Personally, I've been working on a kind of a concept in between videos that I'm not quite ready to release, but I think that what Warframe has successfully done is they have made a story where the struggle that every human being on the face of the planet goes through is the one that's being portrayed here, just in a cosmic level versus a kind of an inner turmoil that it usually represents.
May your fate be a worthy one.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. I'm trying to do my best. We're gonna, if everything's going great with the stream right now, I can tell you that we will definitely begin to stream. Anybody that's been in the past streams knows that I've had some real problems with the microphone. Just a ton of audio issues, and I could never figure out what the problem was. Switched over some new stuff here, so it seems to be working all right. And if that be the case, I feel like moving forward we can stream a lot more, do a little bit more, kind of back and forth with everybody. I think that this story is going... again, I know what I would do with the story. And... oh, hello. And in a lot of ways, Warframe is following what I would have originally thought to do with it, say, 2 or 3 years ago. They've been kind of just following along with exactly what I wanted. And I think it's one of the reasons why whenever they put out new content, especially now, it always seems like I'm just so on board with everything. It's mainly because all the things that DE is putting out are things that I actually kind of wanted to see happen. And they're just happening. And it's great. So it's very difficult for me to... I always try to look at everything with a level of objectivity, if you will. What's good, what isn't. But it's becoming very difficult. I know, right? That's a beautiful ember we have in front of us there. It's becoming somewhat difficult to differentiate sometimes between the better content and the worse content, because for me, it's all just kind of following into the plan with what I would have wanted anyhow. So, I love everything that Rebecca's done since she's come on. I really do. I don't know if she was the only thing that had to do with all this. I highly doubt it. But that being said, whatever happened, everything's going really, really well. I really don't want to move the camera, though. I feel like it's giving a perfect view of what we need, right?
To make this choice is my only.
Oh. Well, it was fun while it lasted.
What shall be with?
Ah, welcome back.
So let's take a look and see what we need to be doing to get this frame. Wow, I have everything that I need already. I just need to buy the things.
Whether they wake or sleep, the infested demons are there, beneath the waves. I cannot
Infested demons.
forget that vision. One day they will rise. But not yet. Not yet.
Oh yeah, I actually did a video on
Little by little, our efforts
on,
shape our fate. Just as the
that
waves wash at the
that
stubborn
aspect
rock,
of
we see
Parvo
nothing,
specifically, but
and again, nothing,
Ballas's interactions
until
with
all
them
at
and how
once,
that all worked
with the
out.
sound of thunder,
And I've said it a
plain
bunch of times.
truth is laid bare.
I'm not going to give up on the idea that Ballas was Ballas, or not Ballas. Let's go.
When Mercer cast himself and his possessions into the deep, all order broke down for a time.
That's what we do.
Koumei arose then on the foam of the dancing waves.
Well, I'm not completely certain on how the story works with this.
You are welcome here, Sura.
Again, the and here's the thing: I love Ballas's character too. I know he's an ass. I get it, but he is a product of a villain that has incredible capabilities and basically was pushed to his limit. And so he decided to burn everything to the ground. Hello! Good to see everybody here. I do appreciate everybody joining me today. I do... Like I said, I'm not... Thank you. And the thing is I'm not really 100% certain how the story even works. What was that? Lotus was the ballast eater, huh?
Koumei do this? Did we do something to upset her?
No. This nightmare is a gift. A chance to live out our dark fate. So we might change it. Hurry home. The Tenno
Okay,
will
so
continue
wait.
our celebration.
Is this like
Present
a
our
literal...
offerings to Koumei, to
Are we
draw
seeing
happy
eternalism like
Hurry to Koumei.
in play right now? Because that's exactly what it sounds like she just said. That basically we got a chance to see our dark fate so that we could change it. Did she not just say that? Did I hear that right?
Koumei, Koumei, Koumei. Come and
Thank you, Johan.
leave this dark dream.
I'm actually... I could see myself playing this for a while. For me, it's like right up my alley. What we need to do is maybe get an appropriate build for the Steel Path version. I must admit the weapons that I chose were more aesthetic than, let's say, effective. Although I would go into battle with my man Revenant here.
Is it still there?
Koumei is effectively out as we speak right now.
Take courage, Sura. Make the offerings in Cetus' name. We must cease our offerings, Sura. Kruna Meta.
And let me just say,
And change our fate.
Revenant is a fantastic option for this. The only one I think that would be better would be Sarah. Just because, I mean, you know, she literally destroyed the whole map. I didn't see that yet. Whoa, what? Subtitle that reads, "What is evil besides indifference?" I have yet to see this. Hopefully, we'll get lucky. Hopefully, it didn't show up here and I just missed it. Because I can see that happen. Not to mention, Revenant has literally one of the best skins. Oh. You know what, though? So, Radioactive, try doing it in solo mode. I mean, it's a 5 to 15 level mission, so, I mean, as you can see right now, you're not really going to have a ton of problems. But solo mode seems to work. Not invite friends or the other one. It's got to be solo. Oh yeah, Nova would be good too. You know what? There's probably about 40 frames that this could just easily work, even on Steel Pack. Just have to have the right build. That's all. Another thing that's probably that I think makes Warframe better than a lot of games right now is, sure, you have bad guns, right? Every game has to have bad weapons. But then, if there is a weapon that's bad that you know, say you like the way it looks, or you like the way that it shoots, or whatever, then they have the Rivens that maybe you get one that makes that weapon better than everything else that you have. Like, it seems like, for me, a lot of what Warframe did in the past is all starting to kind of show itself for the foresight that it probably wasn't given credit for in the beginning. It isn't a solo mission. In fact, the first time I did it with a bunch of people. But I pulled out of it because they basically went through the opening cinematic there a little too fast, and I wanted to actually overhear what the person was saying. So I pulled out of it, and when I tried to do it with just invite only or friends only, it was like it didn't know what to do next, and would just basically kick me right out of that little menu section there with the Koumei statue. But as soon as I went to solo mode specifically, I haven't had any issues with that.
You must drive back the infested from our homes so we can prepare offerings once more.
Yeah, okay. After this, we're gonna do some.
The fate dream is
I'm gonna do some of the Steel Path.
The
'Cause this
die
is,
has been cast afresh. Shola.
Vahek's the best. Him and Tau Regor. God, this champions, both of them. Just incredible champions. Alright, let's do a steel path. Let's change a few things up here. That's true. That's true. About the yeah, that's lots of gods were associated in that method. Us humans we're just crazy, you know. Let's see, what do we want? What do we want? I think that'll work. Although, hold on.
Ah, welcome back.
Our celebration of Koumei! It angers the demons in the water!
Hurry inside, child. Doga! The Tenno will cut through the infested and deliver our offerings to Koumei. Always, the vision begins the same. Kanung, here they come! Swiftly now, present the offering to the shrine, so this dark fate may be averted.
I'm eager to free you squirming maggots from your web. Come on! Open the gates! Let me in!
What a fortune Koumei has bestowed! And this calamity ends. I'm so much of the drain cannot end us. How can we prepare the offerings with these monsters at our doors? You must drive back the infested from our homes so we can prepare offerings once more.
I've had worse vacations.
The will of the infestation is strong. Defeat the Oni to prove ours is stronger.
The Oni will crush your fruit baskets and your putrid organs. Gorge on the delicious jam!
Grenier recklessness may rouse the demons that have long slumbered on our shores. We must ensure they never truly awaken. Fate turns in our favor. The new thread is almost spun. Look at the sea, Tenno. Kanu. destroys us, we must invoke Koumei's power.
Thank you. Somebody I just saw something. It looked like my my microphone kind of went out of the socket there for a second there. Can you hear me now? And yeah, I am trying to keep some of the talking low when they're speaking, because I think many of you want to actually hear what Sai is saying. So I'm trying to not talk over her as much as possible, but at the same time, I just have no clue when she's going to talk. Okay. Whoa, what's that? That looks different. I did not mean to do that. No, no. All I will say, this is you know, this is interesting. Let me bleed out on this one. See, that's what happens. You stop paying attention for one little second. All right. Yeah, this is definitely probably one. Did anybody figure out if they fixed the quest itself, like so that if you're playing with multiplayer, like you can actually get into these missions? Because I could see this one, especially if you're gonna farm it. You might be better off bringing in Greek. It's just a lot of back and forth. And the fact that if anything touches in this little circle, it stops your progress. They're never going to get away from aspects of the grind. I mean, that's why at this point, like, I don't know about the rest of you, with Warframe, what I love about it most is that it doesn't ask you to sit there. Like, if you want to log in and play every day, you absolutely can. But it does not require you to do that to get everything. Where are you headed at? All the way over here, man? You can take so much time off of this game and still get away with having everything.
How could the invested show such a pathetic performance?
It's beefy. There's no two ways around it. If you're wondering why he's stun locked, though, it's because I have cold. And I gotta say, on this particular weapon, it's easily one of the best elements because it just basically freezes everything. I'll take another one. I'll take a third. Come over here. Mm-hmm. Let's put a bow on this. Oh, it didn't like do anything. And that's that. Okay.
You save us again this day, Tenno. I give thanks to the owner.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I couldn't focus on chat as much there. That was actually a bit more intense than I was expecting.
And so we learn the importance of clarity and purpose.
Well, okay, so I'm going through the thing here, and there's a question regarding the Warframes and the Helminth with void energy. And that's a really good question. I do think that's what we're going to be getting into in Warframe 1999. I think we're going to start to see how the Infested and the Void work together. And if that's something that's always been there in some degree, or if it's, you know, like something that Albrecht has just introduced specifically. Again, I'm not completely sold on the fact that this only began with him bringing samples back and forth between 1999. I'd like to think of it as there is a common thread with the Infestation and the Void, but not as pronounced as it's been made to be. And I think it might be in a similar way to how Bloodborne works. Now follow me on this one. You have two different, like what we'd call like major entities in Bloodborne. Or not major entities, major sources for where things are being derived. One is that you have like the outside influence, the cosmic influence. But then on the other end, you have the blood influence. So you have these two things kind of trying to achieve the same goal. And I think you could make a similar argument with the Void and with the Orkin's use of the Infestation as well as Kuva. Because I think there is a tie. I mean, there has to be there is. Kuva's Void has a Void derivative to it. But yet it's considered like a blood. And I think you could have some overlaps, some parallels here, especially with the fact that we're getting into a more cosmic aspect of Warframe, where you do have these two kinds of, like, the mind being the cosmic, the blood being the body. So, again, I don't know if that's the case, but there's this underlying thing going on that I feel like you're going to have, because in the same breath of like within Bloodborne, the powers from the blood and the insight seem to derive from similar places, just from different methodologies of getting there. Well, hello, sir. Swazdula to you, especially in this area. It's the perfect place. It's good to see everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope the stream went well today. Did it look good? Did it sound good? Like I said, from what I'm watching, this was probably the best quality stream that we've had in a year, 2 years. Well, thank you. That is the goal, to try to figure out what's really going on in Warframe. Because we've been given all this surface level stuff over the past 10 years. And now we're starting to get deeper into the layers of how these things maybe come together. And now that we're going to be able to go back in time and see certain things, what we have to figure out is, are we going back in time or are we going to a different time? Oh, I'm glad. That's perfect. Because that's really where we're at with Warframe and Eternalism as a whole. There's still a question of when Eternalism is invoked in some way, does the timeline still say as a one line and things get basically pressed over top? Or when you go back, do you in fact create another timeline, which for the person that goes back would obviously would keep moving forward with their future, but for everybody that was in the previous dimension where the things that were enacted by the change never occurred, they still should exist within a dimension of their own. No, I need to look more into those skins before I actually see what the connotation is behind them, because that seemed like a lot of these frames, the skins do have a theme, an underlying theme. Do I have different lighting in front of the orbiter? I don't think so. Why does it look different? And so, kind of going off of a couple of the comments in the stream here, what if Ballast was inspired by a proto-frame? The craziest thing about Warframe 1999 and Whispers in the Walls is that it opened up the possibility of that we don't know who in this timeline is an original anymore. Given the fact that I made a point in my previous video about that this may not be the first time that we've done all this stuff, that it could in fact be that Albrecht saw everything, went back in time, tried to change something, lived out a timeline. That didn't work out. Went back again to try something else. Lived out a timeline. That didn't work. Went back again. Or it could have been that every single time that he went back, he introduced new things, making it that the next iteration of how things would work out would have some new aspect to it that wasn't there in the previous iteration. Almost like versions of the Matrix. Like one copying over top of another one, copying over top of another one, copying over top of another one. But yet the older ones still exist in some way, shape, or form. And I really do think therein lies an entirely different concept to the Warframe story. One that it could completely change everything that we know. Because if at one point everybody was under the impression that this is the first time through, that everything that's happened, that this is, it's been in a linear path. But now we have no clue when the first time through was.
Koumei, what shall be my fate?
Yeah, and I think that was the idea behind the destruction of the time thing, that basically to make it so that there wasn't any possibility more for him to keep moving around. Potentially because he has all the pieces into play that he needs finally. Because really, if that was the goal, to try to figure out a way to make everything happen, and he went back in and changed things, once you kind of like in Infinity, or in Endgame, Avengers Endgame, when Thanos destroyed the Infinity Stones, making it impossible to change, a similar thing could have occurred, in that Albert decided at that point, I have everything that I need to move forward. You must destroy this thing so that there's no way for anything else to be done.
Cast out evil. Though I see it is a part of me.
And in that regard, it's weird because it's not a linear story, but it actually is for certain people. Like Albert, it would be a linear story. For someone like the Tenno, it wouldn't be. Yeah, that's exactly my point. That if you shift the focus from the Tenno being the main protagonists of Warframe to Albrecht being that entity, that, again, kind of like in moving to the Marvel reference, whereas in Infinity War, many people consider Infinity War Thanos' movie. That movie's about him, really. And in that regard, if the movie's about him in the context of it's his movie, quote unquote, he's the protagonist, he wins. And in the same regard, yeah, I mean, I don't even want to get into all the plot holes in Endgame, okay? Because personally, I wasn't a big fan of that movie. There were too many things that I feel like they got caught in a rut as far as how they wanted to get out of the holes that they had written themselves into, and they phoned it in with some fan service. That's my personal opinion. You can like the movie all you want, but it wasn't a favorite of mine. That being said, there are things in there that I do think very much parallel, kind of like what we're seeing here. And again, and the parallel there being that, if you look at it from Albrecht's perspective, if this is all about him, and we are a piece of his plan, as his writing clearly states, then everything that's happening could be just a byproduct of all the things that he's already enacted to try to make his desired outcome a reality, the reality. But that's up to your interpretation so far, as well as what we're going to get in Warframe 1999. And I mean, I think that's what makes Warframe 1999 so interesting, is that I really do feel like leading up to the new war, when these quests came out, whereas they were still like Second Dream and War Within, you know, very, very unique and very,
To make this choice is
I guess, unexpected. They still didn't bridge like the gap of being like completely out of the purview of what anybody could have possibly predicted. After Warframe 19, or after the new war, and especially moving into Warframe 1999, you can try to predict things like I do, but because of the nature of where the story's headed, anything could happen. Anything could happen. If DE wants to hire me as part of that group, I'm all in. I'm all in. And I promise I will give you guys some amazing stuff. They'd be some amazing quests.
Adrift in the river of destiny, I will flow with you. Gamble with my life,
So,
for I choose to roll
again,
the dice.
I'm most excited about the upcoming stuff, mainly because
It is a part
I like to think that I have a pretty good track record of predicting stuff before it happened in Warframe. I don't get everything right, but I've gotten a lot of things right. A few things that, like, you know, they weren't they weren't kind of cut and dry. I saw this coming. And I say to you, come Warframe 1999, I have no freaking clue what's about to go on. I have theories, but it could go anywhere. That would be interesting. I really, really like the idea of doing specific quests for Warframes. That would be great. Like, whereas now that you have Warframes that are already established, you could take the ones that already have stories, you could add on to them. You could go back into all, Mirage, Nidus's thing. You could add into. There's so much potential moving forward with stuff. The DE they just have avenues that they can go all over the place. If you're just talking about story, there's just avenues everywhere.
Gamble with my life, for I choose to roll the dice. Cast out evil.
I just think that it's more interesting to know the deep inner workings of a quest, because it can really give you a lot more insight into what the people that made the quest were thinking. Like, perfect example is with Lotus Eaters. Like, Reb actually put out a thing that partial, aspects of it were completely derived from. Hey, what's up, buddy? Completely derived from the actual Lotus Eaters. And I just find that stuff so fascinating, because I always want to see what's inspiring people to make these stories. Like what media are you interested in that's giving you these ideas? I'll listen to some stuff on Protoframes. I really hope they'd have this guy more involved, though.
Consequence to consequence brings you to
It's like, especially after, if I understood what I think I understood about the quest, this guy should be like front and center. It's very possible. I like that with the pseudo frame, proto frame thing. I'm very curious to see what's going to happen with our hex proto frames, because from what we know, this shouldn't be possible. You know, now obviously probably the introduction of the void, in the way that Albrecht has done it, is allowing them to keep their minds, but for how long? Because obviously even Albrecht is expecting them to potentially lose it. I don't know. I will say that the new video that I'm working on, I've actually already started it. It's going to add in here, but this place, Cetus, is it's extremely significant, and does make you wonder, like, if there are other places like this that we just haven't really got into, like that if DE is going to kind of work with it, that there's some other, like Tau would be a perfect example. Like there, we find out that there's all kinds of other interesting things going on that we had no clue about. You know, I think that may even be hinted at in the Zeraman tablets that are laid around Duviri. They talk about that even though it appeared like the sentients were pretty much done with the terraforming and whatnot, according to those tablets, there are quote-unquote agents still building stuff out there. This is just to let those who didn't know, this is actually the first stream that I've done in a while, mainly because I haven't been able to get my equipment to work correctly. I've had significant audio issues, probably. Hey, welcome. Welcome, Box of Knot. Appreciate you very much. Definitely have some for those interested in the channel memberships. Don't really want to plug it too much here, but working on quite a few little things for that. Custom little icons are coming soon. The podcast is in the works. Now that I have this thing set up, we're going to be doing streaming. There will be new benefits coming to channel members. So if you guys are interested in that, definitely have some fun things coming. I've been working on them with a couple people behind the scenes, just, you know, trying to put something together. It's $2.99 a month. So far, I have not actually had the opportunity to play with Koumei yet. I still have to grind it out and get, let's see, what parts do I need? I mean, I suppose I could just buy her, but
I will flow.
I don't. I may end up doing the grind process for this one, because I could see myself doing this mission a good bit. So, yeah, I think so. I think we're gonna do it. I think we're gonna just grind her out. We're gonna roll the dice. We're just gonna roll it. They really want to give me the cook pot.
It is good to master your fate, but practice patience.
Yeah, she's a super easy farm. This will be very, very easy. Just, you know, a little bit time consuming. But even then, it doesn't even seem like it's going to be that much of an investment. Well, now you've got me really interested in playing as Koumei. So Gonna have to do that.
It is good to master your fate, but practice patience. Mind the heat. Boil too long, and you will evaporate.
I'm actually curious to see what are all the different variations that you can get,
Free yourself from the delusion
and what dialogue. This will be something else I'm going to be recording here. I'll try to get as much of these dialogue things as I can for the video.
Flancer's toil. A frightening title.
And I'll do some other things too. Like I said, for this upcoming video, I'm going to be doing kind of a history of sIEGES with it, because I think that
To your future self.
we need to there's more to this that needs to be discussed in the video, not just this quest. So it'll be kind of like a whole big thing. How did I get the fate pearls? You just have to go to
The shrine is always open to you.
just play the Size Visions, either the regular one or the Steel Path. Let me just see something. How many? Seems like we got a bit more Fate Pearls on the Steel Path, but not. I didn't think it was like too many more. Yeah, it's a gambling Warframe. DE thinks of everything. I mean, they got them. They think of everything. They're just super creative people. And I guess that's the beauty of them having essentially the same team for so long. You know, all these people, they know the game. They know it in and out. Nico, thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you very much.
What shall be my fate?
Yeah, we're gonna, like I said, this next video is gonna be a fun one. It's definitely going to be a very, very in-depth one. Go over a bunch of things. I want to get into not just Sia's Vigil, but the quills. We're gonna go into even some of Revenant's quest. I want some wine from sIEGES too. So it's going to be a fun one. And then I'll try to put it in, I'll try to stick in a Uranus joke here and there if I can. You know how I do. So yeah, I'm so, you guys have no idea how happy I am that the stream actually looks somewhat decent and sounds decent. This has been such a struggle for so long. Hey, I'll take it. It's the thought, the fact that I'm doing something here and, you appreciate the effort and you're, willing to give anything. Like I said, it's the thought. It does make doing this, like especially in a live setting, it makes it worth it. It shows that people are actually enjoying it, if you will. So I do appreciate it. You know what I'd like to see Warframe do now with the whole Void saga, I guess you could say. Like, let's be real. Warframe likes to take things from other games and put it into their game, which is super smart, right? What about if when the Void comes in and it's like corrupting the different planets, that we have to, kind of in the same way as Helldivers, like push the things back in real time, kind of like with the invasions and whatnot, but like, just with the Void and like different standing orders come out to the Tenno as a whole. That would be, in my opinion, like So we could actually, it'd be like a living, breathing entity over the course of the year, where like things would get like stronger in certain areas if they weren't attended to, or more manageable in other areas. You know, I just think that like this whole thing is just screaming for that to happen. And I think it'd be amazing, you know? And if like certain areas got stronger, like the rewards would get different and stuff like that. Like, ah, man, come on. Come on. Oh, is it called the Void War? Nice. Okay. Okay, cool, cool. Yeah, I mean, again, I think you could just, this could be a thing that just goes on, you know, for as long as the sagas go, right? And you really wouldn't be doing a ton more in as far as like having to develop new content. I mean, they'd be basically just telling you, it'd be like Nightwave, but with purpose. I don't know. Like I said, the future's looking real good, which is crazy for a game that's 10 years old. How can it be? How can that be? Yeah, you could do that too. We have to keep the void, you know, from getting to certain planets and stuff like that. The blueprints are already in the game when you have like with the relays and stuff like that that have been destroyed, and everything's already there. They could, you know, they just throw right in there. Yeah, it is Anakin. Isn't that crazy? That's a very interesting thing. How's that? Wonder what Unum flesh tastes like. Well, again, I think that Nora Knight used to have purpose whenever they were including a story with Nightwave. I know a lot of people didn't really get into it. I loved it personally because it was a story, but you know, since they've removed that aspect, it's more like there's just weekly bounties. Yeah, we could do some biblically accurate angels. There's some. I don't know. That would be an interesting one. Staller's got the best actual lore videos in Warframe. Let's be real. Minor speculation based. I don't know. Like I said, just really, really excited. And it looks like I'm going to have my work cut out for me trying to put together the story for this thing, too, because it is certainly not one they're just handing to you. But we will definitely do that. Very, very interesting indeed. Huh. Well, Tenno. As far as a collab in that regard, I don't know. That would be a very interesting one. I'd love to be able to pick that creator's brain. Yeah, I have not seen. I'll have to look up Corgi the Mighty. I'll have to check that out. I have not noticed that creator, but I will. Yeah, I'll get on today and check it out. I think somebody may have mentioned him before, and I forgot. That's my fault. Have I applied yet? You mean for the what do you call it? For being a partner with Warframe? Is that what you're referring to? Because they don't really have an application process anymore. Oh, is he? Oh, nice. And that's another really good creator. Very different than Stallard. Stallard, in my opinion, just seems to have the best complete understanding of things, at least in the past. I think a lot of it's just because that channel's been around for so long. They just know what's up. Psycho Tetris, though, has some really, if you're looking for like super in-depth, like real in-depth, like long form content, yes, right there, very good. But as far as the application thing, like I do believe that DE they basically go out and they pick who they want now. So if I'm somebody they want to work with at some point, I would be more than happy to. But I will say that I wouldn't get my hopes up with that, because I'm not saying that my content doesn't suit them. I think it could work well, but at the same time, a lot of my stuff's speculatory, and I don't know how well speculation would work if I'm a partner with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, because then people might wonder if if I do get something right. Oh, well, they told them up front. So I could see them, not wanting to necessarily work with me because of that, because it's just not the best fit, if you will. But if that were to be different at some point and they were to come calling, I guarantee you that I would be absolutely willing to listen. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So I really do think that I can't really see them working with me in that regard. I could see them potentially maybe commissioning a video at some point. If they wanted something done in a particular way, if they like my content, if they like the way that I do things, I could see them maybe, contacting me and saying, hey, would you be willing to do a video on this? But I don't see them ever working with me as a partner. Well, and I think that's where my channel comes into play. My channel is lore, but mostly speculation based. Like, I don't go by just the numbers of the quest. I try to go by what I understand of previous quests and things like that, and make my analyses from that. So you're never going to see a video from me. Well, I shouldn't say never, but the content that I've put out up to this point always has aspects of trying to, integrate what if into certain things. Whereas, the more the straight lore based channels, they're going to give you the story. Well, the Lotus is definitely hiding something. What I'm worried about is it seems as though the Lotus knows Albrecht and Trotty. And given everything that's going on, now I understand you could look at it from the concept of back in the day, DE they weren't going to use Entrati. They had no idea that Entrati was going to be a concept yet. But it does beg the question, if you're looking at it from, just like a story perspective. If she did know of Entrati and what Entrati does and what Entrati, why his name would never have been brought up to the Tenno. And yeah, Lotus's hand is all over the place. But even then, I wonder who that hand really belongs to. That's the. And like I said, that will continue to be the content that you will get from me. Now, I will say that I would like to incorporate, and I was talking to some of the channel members specifically about this, that moving forward, I would like to put in some more lore-specific videos that people can watch maybe before an update or something like that, that kind of gets away from as much of the speculation as I do and just kind of gives a rundown of, hey, this is what to look forward, or this is what to look for, this is what happened, you know, so that there's a base of knowledge going into new quests. What would I name the hand? Infinity? Yeah, I mean, I think you can make that argument that Intrati feels genuinely bad about, or at least responsible about what occurred. But I just am not 100% certain if he understands what even happened. And that's the problem. There's the real issue, the crux of Whispers in the Wall and Warframe 1999 and the underlying, the deep seated conflict is that Intrati himself does not know who he is. They brought that up multiple times, so much so that the only way he feels that he can define himself is by his own actions. Essentially saying, it doesn't matter if I was the void entity or not, because look at what I did. So, in that regard, you could look at it as it's more important to him that his legacy remain unscathed. Because that's really, if you're willing to reverse a terrible decision, but in the process implement multiple other terrible decisions that may in fact negatively affect people in an even worse manner, as we've already seen, that isn't necessarily what I would call altruistic or good. Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't put it past the possibility that the Lotus is also a part of Intrati's plan. And I don't want to go too much further into that, because this is kind of, now I'm traipsing on the video that I was telling you guys about earlier that I'm kind of like working on in the background. It may end up being my favorite video overall in regards to Intrati and the Indifference. Because of the personal nature of it, that when this video comes out, that I think I'm going to be able to convince you all that you all, myself included, have our own man on the wall that we deal with all the time. The update is live, by the way. Hello. Yeah, I mean, she's absolutely part of the plan. Yeah. It's just in what context, you know? And it really does make you. I made a point in my last video too. It really does open up the question of, when I had first noticed the era cinematic where the Lotus has the red light across of her helmet as she's directing a group of, what is it, like 7 black-eyed Tenno, and you, or Wally, depending on the way that you look at it, or both of you, it very much reminded me of how Ballas was able to kind of control Umbra through the transference bolt. And I think we've all kind of speculated that the helmet has particular properties to it that, let's say, thank you. I'm going for that PhD right now as we speak. But there's something with that helmet, almost like it's a vessel in its own right. The fact that it's our portal to the current Lotus, that she's almost like trapped in this little area now. Even though, by all rights, she should be able to go free and move around wherever she wants. But it's almost like we have this like pet sitting in our orbiter, and I would equate her presence in the orbiter no different to that of Nihil's. It's weird how so many things, if looked at with the right set of eyes, parallel each other all over the place. And it just makes you have to ask, if with this many coincidences, could they perhaps not be coincidences at all? We could be the baddies. Yeah, that's definitely a possibility. I don't think it's the way it is. I think as long as the Tenno consider their actions noble and are willing to change based upon new information, they will inherently be looked at as positive. But who exactly is guiding them and their intentions are going to be, the real key. Because even if you go back to the Lotus now in the Sanctum, one of the little pieces of dialogue that she offers you is I will continue to guide you as I always have. And it kind of puts into perspective that the Tenno have followed everything that she said for the most part. The only time they really went against her was whenever they wanted to move forward to see what was going on with the floating asteroid in the War Within. And when they did act upon their own instincts, they were able to uncover a great untruth that the Lotus had been hiding. That's just how my voice goes at this point. It's my one true gift. How about that? I realize that people seem to like my voice, so it's one of the main reasons why I'm in the YouTube game to begin with. My content's all right, but I know people like the voice, so thank you. And it's true, and we may come to see that same situation may rest within the Lotus, because we've also seen that she can sometimes enact her own will, and sometimes she's controlled. You know? I mean, she gets controlled again at the very end of the New War. Really, at that point, without much explanation. I mean, you could look at it as she's trying to protect Tenno, but... well, it definitely made me giggle. I would love to be a fish. I mean, I can't even explain to you how amazing it would be if I got to, like, voice one of the characters. You know, like how they had one of the I'm trying to, what was his name? James Conlon, or I can't remember what the person's name was, but that's voicing one of the video games in Warframe 1999. Like, yeah, sign me up. I'll be whoever you want. Make me a bad guy. You know what? Make me the voice of the indifference. I would take that role in a second. I will make it as scary as possible. Don't worry. There can be plenty of videos. Plenty of videos. I have a whole whiteboard of ideas now. We've moved a whiteboard into the office, and we're putting things on the whiteboard. That way I won't forget them. Oh, yeah, I think that you're going to come to find that the sentients may have known more than they have at least let us know about. And I do think they're going to become an integral part in the story further. I would do Wisp's voice acting, absolutely. But, well, I think I'm going to start getting to the actual video. So I hope that you have enjoyed the stream today. I very much appreciate you all being here with me. Now that we have this working, we might be able to get a little bit of a schedule going with the stream. So you guys can, actually hang out and talk with me, and maybe we can get people in and playing again like we used to do. And I finally got this stupid thing working, so I'm actually really excited. Yeah. I was actually thinking about even doing, if y'all are interested, there's a bunch of different things in the game, like the Samaris imprints and stuff like that. I would be willing to just read these through for videos and stuff. If that's something that I could start adding that to the channel. We could, the possibilities are endless at this point. So, but again, thank you so much for being here with me. This was actually a very interesting quest, although I have really very, very little in the way of knowing what's going on yet. We basically know this is just eternalism, or at least we think this is just like a level of eternalism, but now I must go in and dig deep for you and put you out a great video. So, yeah, I could do the Laverian. I could do a bunch of that stuff. So it'll be something to actually, if you want to, please put in the comments some things that you'd like to see moving forward with the channel. Like I said, just reading of different lore aspects. Definitely doing the streaming thing. Let me know. Everything's on the table. I did the quest, but you're going to see when you go to do the quest, it's, let me just say that it's going to be something that you're going to probably have to do over time. it's going to be one of those things that we've been seeing, like with Warframe, where the dialogue that's given in the menus seems to be how the story is portrayed to us. So let me get all that stuff together, and I'll get to the actual story of this put out for you. So, at any rate, I hope you all have a wonderful day today. A wonderful time with the new content. And I will talk at you in the next one. So, take care, everybody. Bye.